And Humanist, and we've got our second series for North America coming right up. It's going to be Rain versus Team Solomid. So, guys, if you had to pick one of these two teams to win the series, who would it be?
If TSM plays like they did in the finals versus Cloud9, I'd have to pick Rain. But if they play like they've been playing the rest of the split and first split, I'd have to pick TSM.
I'm going to have to go with TSM on this one. There should be no reason to be playing anything but your best here.
Well, guys, if you think you have a better answer, or if you know who's going to take this one home, you can always use !vote in the chat, followed by either Rain or TSM to vote for who you think is going to win this one. And we'll tally those up a little bit later on in the game, let you know how you voted. So we're going to be ready for the draft pretty soon. What are your expectations from these teams? I feel like TSM is almost at a point where you have to expect the unexpected.
Well, I know. Well, there's a good chance we could see some weapon pedal coming into this one. You know, the trend TSM's been setting the meta. They're patches ahead of the meta, in fact. I mean, what do you think, Fuj?
Well, I mean, like, Pedal is actually not a bad pick in certain circumstances. Weapon Pedal, maybe a little bit risky, but I've seen some CP Pedal actually come through and be pretty good in other smaller kind of non-Evil 8 tournament settings. So
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, we definitely know Rain's compositions for the most part. They've been pretty much the same for a while now. Lots of Scarf, lots of Sky and Lance.
Yeah.
And then we see the Catherine coming from Roasted Potato. So can't really be sure what TSM will run, but Rain knows what they're comfortable on, so I imagine they want to kind of stick close to that. But they will take away the Lance, generally meaning they're not going to first pick it. But they don't want TSM to have it because we know TSM makes pretty good work with that hero.
What's the priority first pick for this team, though?
For Phoenix Rain?
Yeah.
I feel like you don't really want TSM to get Lyra, but at the same time, giving like Best Chuck and a Celeste. Like, the problem with TSM is they play so many heroes so well and so many different combinations. I think you just pick what you think is the best for your team. And if they get the Celeste, that means that Lulu feels comfortable and confident on this mage, and that should be first and foremost the way they approach this draft.
Well, that gives Kestrel over to TSM, and you know they've gone away from this pick for quite a while, but up until the point when they stopped playing it, and it was like the strongest pick that they could grab for their team because they could send it to lane or jungle, and both players dominated on it.
Yeah, it's really true. I mean, even now you're still not sure until the draft wraps up who's going to be where, because Kestrel could go to lane, could go to jungle, same with Samuel, but hopefully not double weapon. I feel like that would be kind of odd.
No, it would clearly be like the CP Kestrel if they were going to go that route, Fuji.
Clearly. Bonesaw first item on their roam.
You Oblivion the team, you set up that nice active camo, you just get right in.
Just walk under, lay it, turn around, shoot an arrow. Nice. We do see Taka come through for Phoenix. We've talked a little bit about this. If Taka goes to Xenotech, probably not his strongest pick, but it is something that he does frequently end up on during the draft phase. Taka and Lyra synergize maybe not so well together, but once again, you have two such dynamic heroes where Taka wants to go to the back line, Celeste wants to stay away from the front line, and Lyra's going to have to pick. Who does she protect? Who does she dive with? We'll have to see what
I think you gotta protect the Celeste here. Let Taka get some work done. Maybe throw out a sigil to bail him out of some situations. But yeah, he's kind of on an island there.
All right, well, we're on to the Halcyon Fold, ladies and gentlemen, for Game 1 of Phoenix Rain versus Team Solomid. Let's find out who's going to take this one home with our shoutcasters, Jingyi and Forecourt Jester.
I really wish I had a pet named Maple, but that aside, Rain and TSM. TSM right now number 2 here in our split, and they were tied up with points there from Gangstars. We'll have to see at the end of the series if that will still remain, but Phoenix Rain, they're looking to get out of that bottom area there. They also have 1 point, being 5th currently. Velocity's not going to advance, but perhaps Rain can still put a point on the board. So a lot still up in the air for this weekend here, Xingyi.
There is. Well, TSM have their spot, and Phoenix Rain, well, they've got to do the best they can. And just looking now, I was wondering if we can see a skirmish there, but I don't think we are.
Von C coming in with this Samuel. Have you gotten to cast a weapon power Samuel yet?
I've not had that pleasure. What was it like, Forecourt? What was the experience like?
You're about to find out, because Von C, he picked up that weapon blade. I'm curious if that crystal bit will still be built out into the crystal. Very possible we see go either way. Best Chuck, however, is going to become that Team Phoenix sandwich right there. He had nowhere to go, and we still might even win out this trade here from Rain. It's 3v2. Xenotech coming back. Von C going to be dropping down into that respawn timer, and FlashX the only one still yet to remain. So a lot of aggression early on here from Phoenix. They're trying to set up some momentum.
Very promising start. They're able to pick up the kills there under TSM because I think they're just single-handedly picking up individual members of TSM. However, that lead's not going to do too much unless they can take advantage of this. And we do see them going into the jungle to try and get some, deny them of the jungle. And Xenotech's.
Yeah, Von C, we got that sigil. Xeno's going to be staying on top of him. Here comes Flash, though, with that shield. That will actually keep Von C now alive, at least for now. Roasted Potato still trying to get some shots in, but Flash X is starting to just punch her in the face a little bit too hard. And they are going to have to retreat out of this one. Von C, though, he's going to boots. He's looking for the Malice and Verdict hits.
No.
Does have that Drifting Dark. He is going to get those resets. Von C is going to survive. Turn it around there with Flash X, and they get themselves 2 kills on the board.
So close there. They were so close to picking up the kill there on Von C and to Flash X there, but they turned that around. Oh, nice stun there, Lulu.
Lulu gets that core collapse into the stun, and Flash X once more the only one to survive out of the skirmish from TSM. But Best Chuck's been trying to push this lane as hard as he can. Got some pretty decent damage on that turret, and TSM answering that early aggression with their own. It's no wonder they're up 84% in the fan vote. Again, TSM, right now the current NA champions. They're really high up on the split. And I've learned that the audience is always right here, Jingle.
Generally, I think. Mostly.
In my experience, they have not led me wrong. In 2 regions over 2 splits, I don't think the audience has ever been wrong when I pick after them.
That day will come, Forecourt. That day will come.
And then I'll lose all hope in the audience.
Yes. Hope is lost. We're just going to have to see what's going to go on. But I think for the promising start that Phoenix Rain had, feels like we've just seen TSM turn it around completely now. It just feels like it's just switched sides. TSM now are the ones that are super aggressive, dealing a lot of damage. At Phoenix Rain, they're the ones that are struggling against this aggressiveness. I was going to say aggressivity, but that's not a word.
Aggressivity. Now, maybe one day we'll put that in the dictionary under Jingyi, but for now, a little bit more of a skirmish as Xenotech. He was jumped, but they turned their attention onto the Roasted Potato, and Von C with the auto there at the end will get their 3rd kill of the game here from TSM. Xenotech's going to be making that fast exit off the other side of the fold, but Von C has the spider senses up, will steal out that train, and Xeno going to be down. We are looking and throwing out the pot shots here from Von C. The Drifting Dark will keep him right there neck and neck with Xeno, but it will be at least one train over to the Taka. We do got Flash X here. We got that player up there as well. Can't quite hit that Kaku. He's trying to trade it out, but 2v1 is too much.
So close.
Xeno has no support and will go down.
1 second there for his Kaku to come back up, and maybe he could have lived. But it was not to be. And Xenotech, I think he's, for the sake of trying to get the farm at the back and denying away from TSM, I'm not sure if it's paying off every single time because he is facing those 1v2 situations. And he's really struggling against it because I think 1v1 he could potentially take the Samuel.
Best Chuck before 5 minutes gets the Sora Blade.
Oh.
Yep. That's pretty good stuff out of him. Lulu is about to hit that cash enough before Brooke admits probably will pick it up before the 6th. Xeno, I think that Xeno with the invade, he just needs to go straight into the backs. And he did stop for the elemental, or for the treant, not an elemental. And then he went up for the other one there as well, but he didn't get the backs. And if he had gone beeline straight to it, I don't know if Von C would have stopped for his own treant there or not.
Yeah, you've got to wonder. The back counts are worth a lot more than the train, though the train does give a little bit more speed. So you're kind of wondering what Xenotech's going for. He's got that Stormburst, so he has the ability to deny away the farm. But he's kind of losing out on his own, and so far he's staying relatively even with Von C, 26 to 25. Not that big of a difference, and actually both the laner and the jungler here for both teams are very, very close.
Yeah, Rose perhaps stayed a little bit too far forward, but it's actually Xenotech and Lulu to focus down the Samuel. Drifting Dark did go backwards, but able to capitalize on it. So he's going to take a little bit of a break. We got some really good glimmer shots from Best Chuck, just landing again and again here on top of Rain. And with Flash X right there, I'm not entirely too sure if Phoenix will continue to push out. Xeno, however, is looking for a double minion mine. It'll keep Von C a little bit busier for now, and he should be able to pick up that Treant on top of things. Level 6 comes in as well. Xenotech, yep, he will be able to pick it up. Von C did not hit with those Malice and Verdicts. He's still going fishing. He had that Drifting Dart going, but Xeno will be able to make the exit, and could actually be a double crystal as we start off with that Chrono. We'll have to see if he's just going to use it for Aftershock, or if he's just going to go straight into Crown.
I think he's just going to be. I think we're going to be seeing a weapon crystal, and he's just going to go into Crown. Not sure if it's still worth it getting the Tension Bow. I personally would prefer to see him getting the Stormguard banner, focusing on getting the Tension Bow, and then going for the Storm Crown. But it feels to me that he's going for that Storm Crown first, which I feel isn't the best if he's going for Tension, because Tension Bow becomes a little bit less effective.
Why are you here, Miss?
Game. Yep, he's going for Tension Bow.
You know better than I. I've seen double and triple blade starts into Crystal. I mean, I've seen it all throughout the matches, so I could never rule it out anymore. But yeah, Xeno, it's exactly as you're saying.
He just reminded me of that meme, like, oh, I've seen things.
They don't know that he's here, and it's going to be right out the bush. The stun up, and Von C got a fountain proc there at the end. Flash X, of course, with the gauntlet a little bit too far forward to help out his buddy Samuel, but now Flash, he is going to be down low. The Glimmer Shots are doing work, and that's not enough for Potato. Couldn't get in front of it. Lulu square in the forehead. That's going to be the return kill there to TSM. So Best Chuck again doing fantastic work here in lane. We got Xeno here coming up as well. He's actually looking to trade on top of Chuck, but he's under a turret now. We got a fountain, and it looks like he will be okay. We do got the bulwark there to cover the retreat as well. 1-for-1 trade, but Chuck is going to be becoming more and more of a problem once he gets that crit online. That's a devastating amount of damage.
I don't agree with that, how risky Xenotech went there with diving into that turret, because Best Truck NA was full health at the time, and even though he's got that Stormcrown, he doesn't have enough burst to guarantee that kill, and he forced Roasted Potato to use her fountain, and not having that fountain for another 25 seconds, it's risky, especially because Flash X has it available now, so they need to stay away from those fights until that fountain is available again. And maybe engage in a fight once Xenotech has enough gold for that Tension Bow, which is just a few hundred away.
Yeah, it's not that far off. And if you can pick it up before 10 minutes,
no fight!
You're not doing so bad. We still have a few seconds there on that Fountain 5 to be exact. Another one shot to clean through. It will be the Roasted Potato this time. Lulu in that Drifting Dark, but Von C cannot get through these minions with those Malice and Verdicts. And that's going to be the Oblivion. They catch the Celeste. They take down the turret, and TSM now pushing forward. With only Xenotech here to defend. If he jumps in, he is a dead duck, and he is very wisely not gonna. TSM, however, turning around. Goldmine is still up and hasn't been touched this game. Full up as well, and that's going to be putting them very close to the 20,000 gold mark. If Xeno does not get this steal,
nope.
I thought he was about to launch, but couldn't actually get the target.
I think they've lost that turret, and that was right after I said they shouldn't go looking for a fight until they have that fountain available. And midway through the fight, Roasted Potato taking a lot of damage. 10 seconds left on the clock, wasn't able to get on time, died, couldn't even use the fountain on her team. It's just a bad time to be engaging for the fights. And I have a feeling, TSM didn't know that they didn't have their fountain, but it went so badly for Phoenix around there.
Yeah, 7 kills in 5, 1 turret, 1 gold mine, as I said, just 20,000 gold or so, puts them up 2.5 about. And Rain, they started off strong with those kills, but TSM, they weren't taking it lying down. They've really taken a little bit more of a commanding control of this one. We do got that gauntlet ready to go. Flash didn't even use Fountain in that last match. They just didn't need it. And if Flash goes for this engage, sometime here in the next few moments with that gauntlet, I'm not entirely too sure Rain's going to have what it takes to get out of it.
Yeah, well, we do see Xenosex is picking up his tension bonus. So he has a lot of burst available, and I think it's alright that he's picked up it so late in the game. Just alright there. And that is because Von C, very, very little defense, and you can say the same for Best Truck NA. I think the problem is the Lulu, he hasn't reached his full potential there with his crystal build. And he needs to have a little bit more crystal there before being able to pick up those kills into TSM. Because right now I feel like Xenosex is just jumping straight in, not giving Lulu the chance to rain in those Helios.
Yeah, we need to get those heroes, we need to get the stacks. We do got the second item online. Lulu did just get it before the fight with the Eva Harvest, but you can say the same here with Bonsi as well. Drifting Dark, Zeno thought he had a target, but we need to use some portals. There we go, roasted potatoes to get out, but Lulu, so lucky we have an Oblivion roasted, however, we'll just sidestep it. We'll at least survive. Zeno did not make his mark, at least enough here on Bonsi. He just, unfortunately, just not finding really any angles into this comp.
Yeah, I think part of the reason is Roasted Potato really needs that Crucible right now. She has enough gold to pick it up, but hasn't been able to go back home so far. And they've lost another turret. And we need that Crucible to block the Oblivion, because Lulu Force used his reflex block for the Oblivion, and because of that wasn't able to escape the Gauntlet, leaving him in a terrible position. TSM was very quickly able to turn that around and take advantage of that. You want to... Oh!
He tried a 1v1, he really did. Now Roasted Potato, no energy. We got Lulu, but here comes Best Chuck from the side as well. Should be able to get off some pretty good shots. The core collapse outwasted. The one shot will not hit. Lulu just a little bit too quick on her feet to really care about that one, but Vonsi, he's still looking for blood. Malice and Verdicts is going to be enough. There's nowhere to dodge in that small little area, and Roasted Potatoes, the second of the deaths of this skirmish. The Zeno is going to be coming back. They don't actually have the Lyra, but Solar Storm brings down Chuck low. Zeno, however, can't really stick around. There's just too much damage coming out of Chuck, and TSM, they don't get the turret, but they are all at least still alive.
At least they're all still alive there, but they're 5k behind him though, as you said, and I think we're just looking for more coordinated fights coming out from them, because right now I still feel it's very much they're on different pages, going in at different times. In terms of aggression and defense, they're not quite the same. Roasted Potato, she's gone for that metal jacket first, before picking up the Crucible, and I don't feel like I necessarily agree with that. I feel like that Crucible is more important than the metal jacket. She's got that heal. And yes, I know that Best Truck Gaming has a lot of weapon there at his disposal, but having that Crucible there is so much better of a team item to keep your team alive. And I think they really need that.
Just like what we saw with the Velocity crew, when you don't exactly have somebody, beefy or tanky like, Flash X, he's Arden, right? He's going to be on that front line. He can take quite a beating, has all of those support items, but Roasted Potato, yeah, with that metal jacket, she is trying to do very much the same thing on that front line, just trying to negate the damage coming out of Best Chuck, but as you did say, I mean, they don't have a Crucible for the Gauntlet. They don't have a Crucible for the Dark. We don't actually have any kind of reflex on top of Zeno. He is the only one on the team without it. We do got the reflex on Roasted as well as Lulu, but no team-wide one. Just put them a little bit behind the 8-ball when there are so many things they can use for.
Yeah, Lulu needs the reflex block for the Gauntlet as well as Oblivion. There's a lot that he needs to be able to avoid. And they're just looking for another fight. Oh gosh.
Yeah, Bulwark is actually pretty good though. Von C walking into it. There's the Gauntlet. Stuns up Xenotech, who is going to be down so low. The one shot will get tanked out. We have the portal out, but Xeno is down. Phoenix went left, Zeno went right, and now it's all TSM on the chase. Lulu is going to be killed out here as well, and the Roasted Potato has nothing left in the bank. No portals, no boots, no buttons. And that's going to be the ace as TSM pick up another 3-0. Got a gold mine started up here by Flash. It looks like lane to be pushed. Best Chuck can probably just shoot 2 arrows at this turret and take it down. Will he push for another? I just don't think the turret, the timers are there.
Yeah, they're not going to push for another. And looking at, I mean, this has been a very dominant game so far for TSM. I don't think anyone can deny that. But it's been such a different story from what we saw from Phoenix Rain in the very first 2 or 3 minutes, where they were playing very strongly. They were picking up a lot of kills, or taking away farm away from TSM. I think the only problem is that I think roam-wise, we need to be seeing that war treads coming out or that well, just to get Lulu back into position, because they're focusing a lot on him. He's getting caught a little bit. I think he's being a little bit too far forward, and having the war treads just to get him into position go a long way, as well as that Crucible. And even if you just look at the builds coming out from Best Truck NA and Von C, there's not much defense, especially on the side of Von C, and that's because we've seen Taka jumping onto him, but he doesn't have enough defense to be able to dive onto them and stay alive in that drifting dark.
Yeah, Von C and the self-sustain, the fountain coming out there from Flash, he does have that Vanguard if he really needs it as well. They just, as you said, they're not really that scared, but Gauntlet is in, Portal is out, Xenotech, however, once more just trying to fight on the back lines with the rest of Rain, looking for the retreat, and they are just going to have to try to kite this one out as best they can. One shot and Oblivion, they only catch the potato, but no treads. I mentioned that's a very good tool.
Nice
Double
stun.
stun.
Nice.
Helios there, but Fonzie refuses to die. It's best Chuck, though, with the crits from the Glimmers. He does take the third kill. That's back-to-back ace for TSM. Those minions pushing in, and I don't even think we need to bother with the Kraken.
Nope, they absolutely don't. And they're doing the same thing every single time in each of these team fights, which is just focusing on the Xenotech, because they know that Xenotech's going to jump straight in. And they're just not that bothered about Lulu and Roasted Potato. I'm just going to say it like that. They really aren't. And they're taking him down very quickly and then focusing on Lulu, which is also super easy because he doesn't have that much defense against it, and they are that far ahead, 10k gold at 16 minutes. And that was a very confident first game going towards TSM there.
Well, it started off in a good explosion there of just aggression from Rain, but they did get punished a pretty good bit. You know, Xenotech just unfortunately not really able to find the pressure that he wanted. He got denied in the jungle a few too many times, 5 deaths overall, and 69 farm. It did actually stay current there with Von C, but just when it came to the damage output, there was a very big difference in the teams.
Yeah, very big difference. I think I commented on the metal jacket coming up from the Roasted Potato before, and I still think the war treads are a very necessary item because FlashX was using his war treads very aggressively to not only enable those aggressive engagements, but also being able to chase up those kills. And I think that's something that the Roasted Potato really needed, especially for Lulu, because Xenotech, he's got a Kaku who can escape in out the fights. We can't say the same for Lulu there. And being able to get Lulu to the backline to a safer position to put down those healers in the core collapses, he never really had the chance to do that. But I think if he had, that maybe could have changed things a little bit better.
Well, we'll have to see what game number 2 has in store. This does put another point up for TSM. If they do take it 2-0, they will remain neck and neck with Gankstars. And, well, Rain, another 1-point split is definitely a possibility here. We'll have to see if they can fight it back as we go back to the desk here with our 3 analysts.
Thank you very much, guys. All right, Team Solomid definitely showing up today so far, at the very least. Strong performance there in their first game. Rain not really able to do too much.
Yeah, I mean, we saw once the actual team fight portion of the game came online, TSM just had the better play, the better decisions. We end up in that spot I kind of talked about earlier, which is what was the decision that they were going to make from Rain in terms of going for the back line or kind of kiting back for the Celeste, and the mixture of doing a little bit of both. The damage coming from Samuel, the damage coming from those Glimmer shots was just too overwhelming, and they couldn't quite find the team fight wins. Even though the early game was actually pretty good for their favor. Xenotech getting a nice couple of kills, stealing some farm.
Yeah.
Not able to seal the deal, though.
And, yeah, I agree with you. When it came to team fighting, it felt like Phoenix Rain were almost having a conversation. Like every single fight that, like, are we, we're dead. Gauntlet came down, and it looked like, I don't know, like a herd of sheep. And there's like sheepdogs and wolves all around them, and they were like, I don't know which way to go. Like, do we run through the wall or what? And then Roasted Potato's like, I'm gonna portal through team, and then one's already dead. And someone else tries to take the portal out of the gauntlet. It just seemed like coordinated chaos.
All right, well, let's have a look at the rosters real quick. We didn't get a chance to do that earlier on. First up, Phoenix Rain. We've got Lulu, Ziu, Xenotech, the Roasted Potato, and the Big Dog. They are, of course, up against Team Solomid. Very strong lineup. Won the Summer Championship. Already qualified for the World Championship. We've got FlashX, Von C, Best Chuck NA, and Miss Bree.
The All-Star lineup. The strongest lineup on an NA team I think we've seen thus far. Of course, things will have to continue to unveil themselves once we land on that world stage later this year. But TSM is a force to be reckoned with. The only NA team all living together, all working under the same roof, pretty much fully dedicated to this. We know some other teams that are balancing a little bit more under their belt other than just purely Vainglory. So
I just want to see Miss Bree get in here for a game.
just toss her in.
Just hop in this game.
Just slide in.
Well,
Well,
she's playing on Flash's account.
that's why TSM won that game versus the finals last week.
All right, Team Solomid, Phoenix Rain, Game 2. TSM is ahead 1 point. They're on the blue side, banning the Celeste. Lance also taken off the board. I know you like these bans, Fuji.
Yeah, I mean, I think Celeste and Lance are the top picks. I mean, Kestrel obviously is up there as well, but TSM says we don't want Kestrel. We think we can give you Kestrel. We have something up our sleeve that'll go well into her if you decide to pick her. Phoenix Rain may not, though. We'll see. I think it'd be weird to give TSM Kestrel back, maybe even the same composition they had before.
Yeah, it's really weird. And I think, you know, TSM, while drafting well for themselves, also, they draft against every single opponent well, knowing that there's a good chance Rain just doesn't want to play this.
Like, I'm confused. Like, Kestrel is way too much of a priority unless maybe Phoenix Rain closes
but if you don't
this
play
out.
it, like if your team doesn't play it,
then you ban it. I don't know. I don't know if you can just give
so
over
then
such a high
Rain
priority
put
pick.
more emphasis on the Lance
But
than the
what
Kestrel.
if Rain wants Saw here? Okay, never mind. They want Blackfeather. I was gonna say we already saw Lance crush a Saw push comp with double heal earlier. They could have been trying to set that up, but they're going for the Blackfeather. Definitely a different look.
It is the double heal composition with Blackfeather. Can be pretty good. We have definitely an interesting composition coming from TSM, though. With the Fortress kind of closing it out.
Who's got the Blackfeather?
Blackfeather is on
Xenotech.
Yes.
Okay.
So Fortress going in pretty much by himself. Most of these team fights will be a little bit different than what most people like when they're on Fortress. But the damage between Fortress and Glimmers together, like that's going to be a full health bar.
It's insane. I mean, yeah, the damage is insane. The lifesteal coming out is actually huge for your Kestrel. So we'll see how this plays out. I think this should be TSM's game, though.
Agreed.
All right, you heard from our analysts what they think. Let's find out what the reality is, though, as we head on to the Halcyon Fold for Team Solomid up against Phoenix Rain Game 2. Passing it on over to Jingyi and Forecourt Jester.
Thanks so much there, guys, as we come into game number 2. But Flash X and Fortress. We have seen this guy repeatedly over multiple seasons at this point here, Xingyi. The Fortress is never out of favor with these guys.
I think the Fortress is a really clever pick going into this composition that Phoenix Rain have pulled off, because you have this Mortal Wound from his skills. It will reduce the healing provided from the Roasted Potato and Lulu, and I think that's a really smart pick. And I think that's what they were going for with this one, but I think we'll see it being a little bit more effective as we get into a mid to late game. But TSM, they're very aggressive from the get-go in.
Yeah, Flash X and Von C just trying to look for something here, but they're getting juggled pretty easily. Xenotech, with that on point, he's able to generate a shield every time he does hit, and Roasted Potato with the sigil there as well. Not really going to be the level 1 matchup of dreams for TSM, but just kind of going with what everybody's saying, this could be an extremely effective blow-up comp. Just target somebody down, mortal wounds, no problem, blow him up, now it's a 2v3. And we'll have to see if TSM can actually execute through that one. The double heals has had a lot of success overall throughout the seasons, though.
Yeah. I mean, last splits, it would be very uncommon that any team would let this double heal comp go through, and I think we've seen it a number of times already. The thing with Phoenix Rain's comp is that they've got that Blackfeather. He takes a long time to ramp up, so they're not looking for those full team fights until a little bit later on in the game. However, TSM will struggle to kill someone, or so we think.
Yeah, Roasted Potato, nope. Got the laser hands there. Von C not even going to drop here as well. Lulu and the turret just brings them down low, but Xenotech was absent from that fight. TSM pushing us 3, getting the kill, and Xeno not going to be finding any recourse here up here. He will find Flash, but not going to be enough for a kill. We'll now trying to exit down into the jungle. But I did say last game, Xingyi, you didn't get to do a weapon. Samuel got denied again. This time, though, it's the stuff of dreams from Von C.
Oh, it's fantastic. I've only heard of this. I've never seen these wonders. And this weapon Samuel got paired is so effective is, well, not really killing Xenotech, to be honest.
No, it'll take a little bit to ramp up, but Xeno is still actually going to be looking for blood. Lost out the Kestrel, so we answer with the kill on top of Von C. Rain just going to be looking for a little bit more of that aggression. It worked out last time before the 2-minute mark. Maybe it'll work out again here.
Maybe it will, and we're seeing Phoenix Rain maybe having a better start than they did last time. So last time they had a very commanding 3-0 kills from the start. We're seeing them kind of doing that again, and they're putting some scout down into this jungle of TSM. They're picking up the jungle. It's not a magnificent lead so far, right? If we can just keep this going. But I don't know if they will.
Flash! Oh, burn! Yes, he is going to have some singed fur by the end of it. And Lulu able to actually turn that one around. Flash just a little bit too greedy. Can't really do much to best strike at this point. Got to pick up this farm here in lane. Xeno not really going to be here either. He is off into the jungle getting his own farm as well. But Lulu able to get the kill, able to get majority of that farm here as well. and now Roasted Potato just to push up against Chuck a little bit harder here on top of things. So, Xenotech, do you think we're going to see more of that traditional feather build here?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, definitely going up for that. He might not have to go for the Serpent's Mask, but I think he should, just to give him that extra sustain. Just put it that double heal doesn't mean he shouldn't go for more. But it does take. Oh, nice work on the Von C.
Yeah, he's stuck to him like glue right there, and there's not really a big answer there from Von C either. Can he get the double? Best Truck is here and saying no deal. That will be Xeno just going to have to settle for one, but now Minion Mine started up. This will be some good gold in the pockets here of Rain. He'll act a little bit more as that ward as well. It's going to force Von C to spend a few moments to grab it.
They're doing well. Xenotech, he's a little bit ahead.
Ooh, Chuck!
Ooh, Chuck.
Lulu can't get it. Very close, though.
Wood?
He didn't chuck no wood there.
No, he didn't chuck any wood there. But he's going to have to go home, and it's really nice. What we're seeing is TSM, they've been putting so much pressure into Lulu in the lane so far that Lulu was able to turn it around in a 1v2 situation and forced Best Truck NA to go home. He's just an absolutely fantastic Adagio.
And that's just going to back up your numbers a little bit right there. Even under the turret, he took a turret shot, but Flash X, not really a ton of shield, just has that fountain. Didn't use it, but maybe didn't expect to go down either. More pot shots going off. Von C this time, a little bit too close to that Adagio. He's going to suffer for it. Best Chuck, don't really know where they are. I mean, there's a good idea that they're in the mustache bush, but he's not going to throw in any kind of glimmers looking for him. This has let Xenotech actually have a really good start off in the jungle. 2 kills on top of 29 farm. He's starting to pull ahead of Von C. He's even waiting for Von C. And history will say that this will be a Xenotech kill right here.
Yeah, I think so. What you were saying about the weapon Daniel took a little bit too long.
Yeah, he gets it. 1v3. He chases, but he will shut down the weapon Sammy here this early on. And yeah, 5 and a bit into the game. Von C not really super close to picking up a Sora Blade. Not that he needs to. Lulu, what a god. In this lane, just mowing down opponents.
Let's call him Woo Woo. Woo.
Lulu's now Woo Woo. Makes the plays, man. Makes the plays. Look at Roasted Potato making her own plays into the back of the jungle. Yeah. She actually even picked this one up. Yes! Von C totally denied. I don't know if he'll pick up the kill on top of the potato. I don't think he can really catch up too easily, but Malice and Verdict starting to actually tick away. Now he's going to give it up.
They've completely taken away his jungle again, and Lulu's making sure he's not going to get his treants, and he's going to deny that away. So Xenotech's beginning to really crawl forward. 35, Von C's 21, and that's really important. You've said especially that weapon Samuel is very much a late game Samuel, and by making sure he doesn't get to that late game stage, they could be shutting him down very early, and maybe this weapon Samuel maybe not have been the best choice for them to go, especially when they had the chance to go crystal weapon, and instead they opted for that double weapon.
Alright, so we are going to go into the breaking point. Now what we should be seeing from Von C is, I used the Sora Blade a bit earlier as more of a metric, but Von C at this point, he's going to be going into the double monocle, or at least he should be. We'll have to see what farm will actually dictate here, but Xenotech going to be trading that a little bit. Flash X is 6 here from Von C as well, but we got a burst going down, and Von C is not even get really anything more than the Oblivion out. Lulu now trying to tank out, got a Minion Mine and Flash X on top of him, so Lulu going to try to trade out that aggro. Best Chuck and Xeno, it's going to be the kill going away with the feather, and Flash X the only one now to survive. 9 kills, as it looks like we just hit our own switch here with Rain. They have turned on their their aggression, their plays, their synergy, whatever it is just working out totally fine.
I think part of the reason it's been super effective that they have been able to shut Von C out from the jungle for that breaking point, so he is looking for those sustained fights. Unfortunately, because he has little defense, they are able to shut him down in those team fights. And 16, they're about 3k ahead in gold. Maybe we'll be seeing them struggle with a little bit more, especially once Flash X gets more and more, puts more points into the attack of the pack there. That those mortal wound bites are going to make it very difficult for Phoenix Rain, and they're going to have to force him to back away at some point, especially Flash X. Maybe even just goes for a little cheeky bit of crystal with his roam build.
Von C going to be trying to kite this one out, but Xenotech is just there with the on point. Just the entire kit of Xeno actually starting to work out rather fantastic himself. Had that Shiver Steel as well, so Von C just kind of slowed down in that drifting dark and enables a lot of stickiness there from Xeno. And he's just going to be waiting for the back snow. He's looking for still a little bit of blood. He's not going to be finding anybody for a while. Lulu up in lane going to be pushing here with the potato as well. Both the TSM, at least the two active members, are going to be in vision. And now they know that Von C is going to be coming out here sometime. And Xeno is not leaving the jungle. He is not afraid of a 1v1.
Yeah, he's looking for blood. He's got the Serpent's Mask, got the Shiver, so he makes sure that if anyone walks into that jungle, they're not getting him. It's been interesting. That gold at the back of Phoenix Reigns, or the minions at the back of Phoenix Reigns jungle, must be worth so much money at this point. Maybe it's just worth going back and picking up some of that, just for the amount of gold it'll give you. Lulu, face check, what?
Oh, the boots though. The boots were enough to get out of the Oblivion. Not going to get just stopped up. Xeno now going to be coming in from the side. The rest of Rain are going to have to re-engage with this one. And Xeno does like to get a really good barrel roll going through them all. The potato going to heal them up, but will they go into the turret for it? I want to say no, but this game is just all full of surprises. And Rain, they are still looking for a kill. They're not letting Flash X go home. Xeno even going to be chasing Vonsi out of the jungle yet again. And the double heals starting to work out. That on point, it is overdriven. It has all 5 points into it, and Xeno himself can add to the poke here of the Adagio Lyra combo.
It's so strong. Lulu, we've been seeing him picking up the kills in the lane on his own 1v1. It's such a strong Adagio. And that turret is just not... No, they're not going to take it this time.
He's getting down there.
No, he's picking up the kill. He might pick up the kill.
Okay, Von C.
No, not.
Monsi's out. They're not going to be looking for a fight. Taking the jungle now. Xenotech, as you did say, if he does clean out this side and goes all the way back home, he should be able to pick up quite a bit of cash, but he needs to make sure to deny as much as he can here to Von C. And again, with TSM just putting 2 on turret with Flash and Best Chuck, if you know that Von C is down, hurt or dead, Xenotech has absolutely nothing to worry about.
Yeah, he really does have... He's so... Well, not fed. Well, no.
I'd say at this point the whole of Phoenix is actually pulled ahead quite a bit.
So Lulu's just a 10 CS ahead, and doing like 22 ahead, but I think it comes down to the gold that we've been just being able to deny from TSM, and they picked up a gold mine as well. They're just applying so much pressure 2 versus 3, and the whole time that Von C's up in lane, that's gold that he's not getting. Because Flash X is picking up Dandy Gold, and Xenotech is in his jungle, and he can't even go into Phoenix Range jungle because Roasted Potato and Lulu are blocking the way there. It's... He's not getting a chance to ramp up that weapon, and that's what's concerning about this.
Bulwark is there. Xenotech did start that one off with the on point, but Roasted Potato's the one to hit the Oblivion. Flash is going to hit the puppies anytime soon. Xeno is just able to just poke down Lulu to get the kill on top of Von C. You can see that TSM pretty much is pinned to this turret at this point. They're not willing to make a foray into the jungle. They're not willing to get caught. They can't push out, and this turret will drop sooner or later to this constant pressure.
And because of the double heal, the 2 healers up in lane all the time, they don't really have to leave the lane that often because they've got an incredible amount of sustain. Roasted Potato forced to go home because she doesn't have any energy. But they've been in lane an incredible amount of time. We've seen Best Chuck NA having to go home repeatedly because he's being forced back. He's doing quite well though in terms of itemization. Got a Tyrant, got the Sora Blade, and I think we'll probably expect that second Tyrant's coming up from him. That does seem to be his favoured Kestrel build. And, well, this double weapon comp really never had that chance to shine though, has it?
Absolutely not. This will actually be 0 for 2 for double weapons if this is going to be finished out from Rain. And so far, again, with the damage, all right, Cactive Camo just to stop up. Cactive Camo, yep. Words are hard. Xenotech in the back. Von C, there's no words for Von C, just a blade to the throat. And turret finally is going to go down. Best Chuck almost dropped there as well. And has Flash even used the attack of the pack yet?
He's used it once at the fight near the minion mine, and they still managed to lose. I'm wondering now that maybe he's got 2 points in the attack of the pack, they might be doing a little bit better. I think they are just a little bit far behind, but I feel that...
Oh, teams, please!
I feel that attack of the pack could really change the team fight, and I'm wondering why he's a little bit hesitant to use it, because I really think if they pick the right moment for it, they could win that fight and potentially be the ones taking the turrets instead.
State of the game is just, again, pretty phenomenal right now for Rain, because Lulu just got 3rd item. has that Frostburn on top of things. He's been mowing people down left and right. We'll have to see it coming into play here, but Portal's already just a little bit more of a dance. TSM looking for something. Bonsi, however, is going to be dead on the floor, and a quick double for Lulu. Now going to be looking for the trip. I think Xeno might even go right through this one with that breaking point of his. He just stacks up damage and damage, and that will be the ace. 15 kills to 2. We haven't even hit the Kraken timing yet, but turrets are starting to fall.
Oh, what a different game from the last one that we've seen. I was a little bit worried when we could see Substance using a very aggressive arcane passage right into the middle of all 3 members of TSM, where her teammates were nowhere in sight, but they managed to use a trade to turn that around very quickly. It's just because TSM have fallen so far behind, and I really am dubious about this double weapon. I really feel that Crystal Samuel would work much better.
Push party! Yeah! Let's get it started,
Bonsi.
Rain! They have some MVGs right there. TSM with the guests, and now they are just not going home. Lulu just with the celebratory verse. There was nobody actually to hit at that point, but the blow-up comp that was theorized here from TSM has absolutely been crushed.
Yeah, they've absolutely crushed is the way to describe it. Bonsi just went in so fast. I feel that maybe
very little defense.
yes, and he's going for more offense, which I think is a shady decision.
Well, if you're a defensive weapon, Samuel, I think the game might be over anyway.
Well, the thing is, he's got that breaking point, and the whole point of a breaking point is you're looking for those longer fights. But of course, if you're going to die straight away, you're not going to get any fight. Look at this, he's dying.
Yeah, no, absolutely going down here. That's the portal, the bulwark, and there is nowhere for TSM to go. That will be another ace and 20 kills. Gotta feel good here, Phoenix. They're going to be taking this to a game number 3. 20 seconds left on Chuck and 1 turret between Rain. They don't even need minions there. It's just the burst out of Xeno, the constant damage out of Lulu, and the heals there from the potato. Yeah, I would totally vote for more of these guys here in game number 3. Whatever Rain did this round with the draft, with the aggression, just getting the picks that they wanted. Let's see more of that. That was phenomenal.
Oh, it was absolutely phenomenal from Phoenix Rain. And TSM, they're a team that aren't afraid to take risks. We've seen them pulling up a number of unorthodox compositions, builds, heroes, and making them work. But this time we saw this weapon, Samuel. That was one that just did not pay off from the very start, because we saw Xenotech just focusing on Bonsi over and over again in the jungle. He was very behind on farm, 39 at 15 minutes compared to Xenotech's 80. He just didn't get a chance to scale as that weapon Samuel, which is words I never thought I'd say, but here I am saying them. In theory, it could have worked. Flash X there with the Wolves, the Mortal Wound just negating the heal coming out from Phoenix Rain, but it was completely dominant coming out from Phoenix Rain, and I've got to say Lulu's shield really impressed me with that Adagio.
The Adagio was certainly very noteworthy on that one. Of the 20 kills, 10 of them on Von C. A heavy shutdown game from Rain. We'll have to see what game number 3 does hold, because this will be the decider. We got 1 point apiece, and we'll find out who can continue on tomorrow with the result of the next game.
Very tough matchup in Game 2 for Team Solomid. The weapon power Samuel not quite working as it has occasionally worked before. You know, it's tough to find words to express how I feel about that game.
Well, you know, I was talking with Fuji as we were watching that game, and I just think maybe SCMC needs to think about turning up the weapon ratios on that Malice and Verdict. And that would help Vonsi and Samuel out a lot. I mean,
that's true.
Or at least 200% weapon area of effect and Drifting Dark or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Easily.
I mean, otherwise, like, how's Vonsi going to have a chance out there?
Well, in that specific moment, you just saw there was no chance. Absolutely zero chance for that right there. Like, you just can't draft like that against teams that are going to draft for, like, a serious way to push towards winning and expect to actually come out on top. I mean, double weapon generally is not always super effective with a lot of picks. Double weapon specifically with Samuel is basically like playing a potato on the fold.
They were playing against Potato.
A roasted potato is different.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. She's an actual player. Just rolling the spud, kicking it across the field.
It's hard. It's hard to, like, legitimately say too much here about that. I mean, you have one team that's out there. They look like they're legitimately playing. They got their tryhard pants on. That
Lulu
team
was going off that
team
game.
is Phoenix Rain. You're playing against a team called Team Solomid, who doesn't really seem to be carrying that much. What's up?
I definitely have to give some credit to Lulu, though, on the Adagio. Even though TSM had a weird draft, weird style of play, probably not the best situation for winning any games. But that being said, Lulu was definitely making some sweet plays on the Adagio, constantly putting that pressure under turret, picking up kills even while they were under
Really,
turret. So.
yeah. Actually, I mean, the Adagio was flexing up in there in the lane, and we were joking around about it, but like when it comes down to it, and you see TSM maybe not with their tryhard pants on, like Best Chuck always tends to be playing. Like he doesn't seem to like let down too much, and Lulu was still doing very well there. So credit there.
Yeah, Xenotech going off in the jungle on Blackfeather too.
So moving into Game 3 and the draft, what do you guys think we should see from these teams? It's hard because as much as we might say we would like to see kind of a more standard composition from Team Solomid, I almost know that's not going to happen. So if they're going to pick something weird, what weird thing would you like them to pick?
I mean, if you're going to do something weird, do something that still potentially works, but just is not in the meta. Like we talked about, a CP Petal. We talked about Kashka Arden, Kashka Fortress compositions. You still have picks like Rhyme. You still have a number of picks that are effective, just maybe not in the meta.
Right.
But doing stuff that's like a double weapon with Samuel, and Fortress, like you don't have anyone to go in with Fortress. You have a double backline that you can just curb with like armor. Like it doesn't even make sense. It's not even just off meta.
All right, so I got to cut you off there actually because due to the implications of the C9 kinetic game that we've got coming up, we're actually going to jump into that one.
Thank God.
Because it is super important for how Worlds shakes out. So we figured it'd be best to show you guys that instead of the final game of this. If you want to see the final game of this, you can, of course, check out the VOD on twitch.tv/Vainglory. But we're going to go to a quick break. When we're back, we've got Cloud9 versus Kinetic, two teams that are still in competition for that World Championship spot. Don't go anywhere.